What's up, freaks? This is just me, and today we're gonna be ranking the 8 mandatory poses, including the most muscular, of the Shadow Dorian Yates from worst to best. And we're gonna be considering the poses throughout the bodybuilder's whole career. If it's the case that they were strong in a mandatory at the start, but as time progressed, it for some reason became a much weaker pose, it's probably not gonna win in this video. It's gonna be more mediocre. We're also looking for consistency. Alright, that's good. Now a little bit of an introduction for Dorian, although it's probably not needed. The Shadow Dorian Yates was a 6-time Mr Olympia champion. He dominated the 1990s with his larger-than-life physique and all the grainy muscle. He was one of the first mass monsters, and also a master of the mandatories. So needless to say, we are going to be seeing some good poses because he can hit most of them very well. Alright, we're starting with the worst pose for Dorian, in my opinion, of course, and it's the most muscular. Now, you could argue that during his reign this wasn't a mandatory, so he didn't need to look good in it. That's true, but he still did the pose and I'm including it anyway. This pose was not flattering for the Shadow's physique because Dorian just didn't have the arms and shoulders for it. These body parts look kind of crappy from this angle, sorry, but although he's not hitting the pose well, and I don't think he did it very often either. He definitely wasn't dominant enough in it, so it was quite a weak pose. And he had one more weak pose. It comes in the form of 7th place front double biceps. This is quite notoriously a bad pose for Dorian, especially after his biceps and triceps tears, and even before then, it was never his calling card. His guns are not even close to matching the rest of his body. His midsection is not that appealing, and the quads don't help the case whatsoever because they don't look that great either. Definitely not a strong mandatory pose because he has almost no flow. And really, the side chest, which is 6, is not that strong either. As you can see, in the side chest, Dorian's pecs had quite a queer look to them. The triangle shape doesn't look very good, and the same goes for the arms, delts, and the side leg. Not a great pose, definitely not. But, yes, this was a pretty negative part of the video, but we are getting to the good poses. The 5th pose is the ab and thigh. It's a pretty good pose for Dorian. Definitely not world class, but not lagging. For a mass monster, he looks really aesthetic. He's ripped in the abs, he's got an awesome V-taper created by his huge lats, and the quads, although not balanced with these overwhelming teardrops, they don't look bad in the pose. So this is actually a very decent pose for Dorian. And we move on to the 4th most effective mandatory, and I believe this is not the rear double bicep. Blasphemous. I know. I mean, this is arguably one of the 3 best rear doubles in the history. But guys, Dorian is incredibly dominant in literally half of the mandatories, and there has to be a 4th spot. I give it to the back double because Dorian really wasn't all that great in the pose if we consider it as a whole. The biceps are barely visible and lag behind, no disrespect. The delts are basically nothing special. The lower body, it's fine for Dorian's time, but it cannot match other goats. It's just not shredded enough and not even big enough. On the other hand, the forearms, calves, and of course the granity back are just on another level, and they make the pose work. If only you could somehow take the arms out of the equation. Like, for example, in the lat spread, which is my pick for the 3rd best pose. The lower body is still not goat material, but the lats definitely more than make up for it. Dorian's lats are probably the best of all time, and it displays so well in this pose, as well as the thick traps. His execution is also good and very proper. And while we're on the topic of great executions, why not mention the side triceps, which I consider Dorian's second best mandatory pose. His execution is epic with that calf in the back. Dorian's lower body looks much better than before, and his arms also display shockingly well. Look at the crazy development of the forearm and triceps horseshoe. I think most people would consider Dorian's side tri pose the best of all time, mainly because he hits it literally probably better than anyone else objectively. And what is in the first spot? I think we all expected the front lat spread to top this countdown. Dorian's execution again is flawless. You don't even need to look at the legs or the chest or the abs here because your eyes are immediately drawn to the lats. They're so filled out and huge, but not only that, they also have a beautiful bulbous shape to them. Dorian's wings are simply best of all time, in the lats spread from the front at least. This is further evidenced by the fact that when someone's lats look good in the pose, we say they're Dorian-esque. This is Dorian Yates' pose all the way. It's not even arguable. But guys, still, you can let us all know down in the comment section below your own opinion on which pose would you place where. How would you reorder that video? And don't forget to share what you think about the video overall. I would appreciate that immensely. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to watch some Dorian Yates videos and also like and subscribe. Enjoy the rest of your day.